Good evening. Merry Christmas. I'm going to invite the music team up here, the praise team, so we can sing some carols. Please join us.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go. Tails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Deck the halls.
And look at these halls, how they are decked.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. Fa la 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 la. See the blazing Yule before us. Fa la 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 la. Strike the harp and join the chorus. Fa la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure. Fa la 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 la. While I tell of Yuletide treasure. Fa la 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 la.
And welcome and good evening and fa la 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 la, jingle bells and all that wonderful Christmas stuff. Welcome to this Christmas Eve service. I'm Reverend Patty, one of your beloved ministers, along with the wondrous Dr. Petra and Reverend Karen and Reverend Vince, my beloved. I am so delighted that you have chosen to be with us on this most holy of holy nights. Now, if you are like me and you love to connect, I think that's the right word, connect to the social media, then please, so then please by all means take this opportunity to take those little puppies out and check into CSLDallas and take lots of pictures and put them on all the wondrous places that you all know where to put them. And now I would just love it if everyone just simply silenced their phones. Thank you. I'd also love it if you all take a moment to check out our wondrous CSLDallas connection card that you were handed with the programs when you came in. Now, some of you all may not have been here for a while since this is a holy, holy night. So if you would mind just filling out any information that may have changed. Also, if you're one of our regulars and your important information is incorrect, please, by all means, let us know and fill out the card. And if you are a first-time visitor here with us, I am so delighted, we are so delighted that you are here. Please take the next few minutes to fill out the card, because we really love to stay in touch. Then all you have to do is drop the card in the offertory basket as it is being passed. So now it is time to relax, sit back, smile, and may the Christ light be born in you anew this night. To be born in you this night in joy. So please enjoy.
Please join us in singing Bring a Torch, Jeanette Isabella.
Bring a torch, Jeanette Isabella. Bring a torch, come swiftly and run. Christ is born, tell the folks of the village. Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Beautiful is the mother of, beautiful is her son. Hasten now, good folks of the village, hasten now the Christ child to see. You will find him asleep in a manger. Quietly come and whisper softly, hush, hush, peacefully now his slumbers hush, hush, peacefully now he sleeps. Bring a torch, Jeanette Isabella. Bring a torch, come swiftly and run. Christ is born, tell the folks of the village. Jesus is sleeping in his cradle. Beautiful is the mother of, beautiful is her son.
So I invite you to join me in prayer. If you choose to close your eyes and go within. Go to that place where you know that God is. The place that love resides, light, peace, and joy. Donde sabemos que Dios está en el corazón de cada uno de nosotros, en mi corazón, en el tuyo. Sé que Dios vive ahí, en armonía, en amor, en alegría, en paz. So bring this day to be a day of joy, an evening of love and sharing and community, knowing that each and every one of us is united in spirit, knowing that by being here, we share our hearts, tus corazones. Los compartes con uno y con el otro, sabiendo que el amor es la verdad infinita que resida en el mundo, sabiendo que todo está bien. La luz está presente, el amor está presente, la alegría y la paz de esta Navidad. The peace of this Merry Christmas, it is within. Today, tomorrow, hoy, mañana y el resto del día. So in this moment, just breathe. Breathe to the light, breathe to the peace, breathe to the joy in the world. That unity that it is expressed in here at CSL Dallas. Agradeciendo esta noche. Together we say, and so it is.
Angels we have heard on high.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains and the mountains in reply, echo with their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Shepherds, why this jubilee? Why your joyous strains prolong? Say what may the tidings be, which inspire your heavenly song. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Come to Bethlehem and see him whose birth the angels sing. Come adore on baby knee, Christ the Lord, the newborn King. Gloria in excelsis Deo, Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Be seated. Yeah, you can applaud that. That was pretty amazing. Wow. So here we are singing familiar old Christmas carols that so many of us grew up with, and yet perhaps that's not the path that we're always walking on. And so when we come to Christmas Eve, for me, this is always the heart of the holiday season. We've spent all month exploring so many of the different sacred holidays. And in each case, we come to it with a new idea, a new eye, a new look. And we do the same when we come to Christmas Eve and the Christmas story. And so many of you joined us a little bit earlier for our Christmas Eve nativity pageant, and we did a metaphysical interpretation of the nativity story, and we looked at what that story means for us. And so just to remind us, of course, when we celebrate on Christmas Eve, we are not just celebrating a birth of 2,000 years ago, but we are celebrating the birth of the Christ consciousness that is born and reborn every time that we behave in a Christ-like manner. Every time that our hearts are open with the love of Christmas, every time that we allow the light to move us, and that we seek to align ourselves with this light. And so we come to this sacred and holy night because we are reminded. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I need that reminder. Sometimes my life drifts a little bit further away from the light. Sometimes it's because of Facebook, quite frankly, right? Or the news, or my family, or my lack of family, or the people in my life, or the people that are not in my life, right? And sometimes the light feels dim, doesn't it? Sometimes we're confronted with darkness. It could be the darkness of our own lives, the darkness in our own hearts. It could be darkness that we perceive, and whether it's in a loved one or in a family experience or in our country or on our planet. And sometimes it seems to me that we wonder, where is the light? What has happened? Are we still walking the path? What's happened with that story, that birth, that consciousness that was revealed 2,000 years ago? What's been done with it? Where have we taken it? And I think that this is appropriate self-examination. It's not critical or judgmental. It's never about blame and shame. It's always just an opportunity for us to examine, to explore, to really look at what's going on out there and in here, and to see whether or not we can find God in it, whether we can find the light in it. And I wonder if we can find evidence of the Christ consciousness in our world today. Well, if that angel wasn't sent on a mission before, that angel was sent on a mission tonight. Right? And as Lainey so beautifully sung, the angel is a mission from God to find out the worth of what's been done with the Christ consciousness. What's been done with the Christ consciousness, and what's been done with the awareness of that birth 2,000 years ago. The angel is tasked to bring something back that no one could touch, but an angel can hold. Yeah. We might reflect on it. What is it that no one can touch, but an angel can hold? What have we done with the Christ consciousness? What has been the worth of the Christ light over these last 2,000 years? Yeah, kind of mixed reviews, don't you think? Yeah, lots of things done in the name of religion, done in the name of Jesus, the name of the Christ, the name of Allah. Lots of things that don't actually seem to be in alignment, do they? Yeah, and what about in our own lives? How often are we distracted by the human condition? We're distracted by our need for security, our fear, our doubt. We're distracted by the need to belong, to get ahead, to figure it out. And so we are distracted. We look for our worth. We seek to find it out here, don't we? With the things that we acquire, or the titles that we receive, or the accomplishments that we do, or the ways in which people see us. And so we are so busy sometimes looking at the way that people see us that we don't necessarily pay attention to how we're seeing others. And we can be distracted by our sense of separation from them because they're different than we are. Or that thing over there, or those people over there, they're not doing it quite right. And how often do I have to look in my own mirror and ask myself, am I doing it right? Not right in the sense that maybe we were taught as children, but right when we mean in alignment with the truth of who we are, in alignment with that Christ consciousness, not right as in acceptable, not right as in appropriate, not right as in, somebody else's opinion, but right, as the Buddha said, right alignment, right life, right vocation, right speech, right action, right words, right thoughts, right alignment. Are we focusing on that? If an angel came into our consciousness and our heart, what might the angel find there? What are we focusing on? What do we find ourselves obsessing about? What do we find ourselves playing over in our minds? What do we find ourselves talking about over and over and over again with others? Is it the light? Or is it our fear, our doubt, our negativity, our blame, our shame? What are we focusing on? What are we focusing on when we look in our own lives? When we look in the mirror? When we look at others? So we come to this holy night, and it's a beautiful celebration, and we give each other gifts, and we have beautiful lights, and we have music and joy and love. But it's a holy night. It's a precious moment in the alchemy of a year. And if we will allow it to do its magic on us, there's an opening that's possible right now and right here.
Oh, holy night,
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of the dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices. All night divine, all night, when Christ was born. All night divine, all night, all night, all night divine.
Surely he taught us to love one another. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Chain shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, when yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices. All night divine, all night, when Christ was born. All night divine, all night
to have a divine night, a holy night, not just one night, but every night being a divine night, would mean to keep Christmas. to keep Christmas with us at all times? What does it mean to keep Christmas? Is it we just say the words, or do we follow with the action? How do we live the Christmas spirit? How do we live the Christ consciousness? How do we keep it going? I'm going to read Keeping Christmas by Henry Van Dyke. It was first published in 1924 and then again in 1952. Dr. Petra read it in 1984 at the height of the Cold War, and again in 1990 when we landed in Kuwait, and again in 2003 when we went to war with Iraq. Petra has read it under presidents of both parties during times when social justice seemed on many people's minds, and it seems appropriate to read it again this year as well. There is a better thing than the observance of Christmas Day, and that is keeping Christmas. Are you willing? Are you willing to forget what you have done for other people and to remember what other people have done for you? To ignore that the world owes you and to think what you owe the world? To put your rights in the background and your duties in the middle distance and your chances to do a little more than your duty in the foreground? Are you willing to see that men and women are just as real as you are and try to look beyond their faces to their hearts, hungry for joy? To own up to the fact that probably the only good reason for your existence is not what you are going to get out of life, but what are you going to give to life? To close your book of complaints against the management of the universe and look around you for a place where you can sow the seeds of happiness. Are you willing to do these things even for a day? Then you can keep Christmas. Are you willing to stoop down and consider the needs and desires of little children, to remember the weakness and loneliness of people growing old, to stop asking how much your friends love you and ask yourself whether you love them enough, to bear in mind that things that other people have to bear in their hearts, to try to understand what those who live in the same home with you really want without waiting for them to tell you, to trim your lamp so that it will give more light and less smoke, and to carry it in front so that your shadow will fall behind you, to make a grave for your ugly thoughts and a garden for your kindly feelings with the gate open. Are you willing to do these things even for a day? Then you can keep Christmas. Are you willing to believe that love is the strongest thing in the world? Stronger than hate, stronger than evil, stronger than death. And that the blessed life which began in Bethlehem some 2017 some odd years ago is the image and brightness of the eternal love. Then you can keep Christmas. And if you can keep it for a day, why not always? But you can never keep it alone. And so we have a story of how to keep Christmas.
an old city bar that's never too far from the places that gathered the dreams that have been, in the safety of night, with its old neon light that beckons to strangers, and they always come in. The snow, it was falling, the neon was calling, the music was low, and the night Christmas Eve, and here was a danger, even with strangers inside of this night. It's easier to believe. Then the door opened wide, and a child came inside that no one in the bar has seen there before. He asked, did we know that outside in the snow someone was lost, standing outside our door? The bartender gazed through the snow and the haze, through the window and ice, to the corner street light. We're standing alone by a broken payphone. Was a girl, the child said, could no longer get home. The snow, it was falling, the neon was calling. The bartender gazed and said, not that I care, but how would you notice? The child said, I've noticed, if one could be home, they'd be already there. The bartender came out from behind the bar, and in all of his life he was never that far. He did something else that he thought no one saw. He took all the cash from the register drawer, and he followed the child to the girl across the street. And we watched from the bar as they started to speak. He called for a cab, then he said JFK. But the girl in the cab and the cab drove away. The stars was far from the light that was gone, this light that she had wished upon. If you want to arrange it, this world, you can change it. If we could somehow make this Christmas thing last, by helping a neighbor, even a stranger, to know who needs help, we need only just ask. Then he looked for the child, but the child wasn't there. Just the wind and the snow, walls and dreams through the air. He walked back inside, somehow different, I think. For the rest of the night, no one paid for a drink. The cynics would say that some neighborhood kid wandered in on some bums in the world where they hid, but they weren't there, so they couldn't see that old neon star on the night Christmas Eve. The snow, it was falling, the neon was calling. Bartender turned and said, not that I care, why we on our own never went home on the night of our lives. we were already there.
What is the worth of a soul? What is the worth of our soul? If a girl walks into our bar, what do we do? If there's a girl across the street at a payphone, do we seek her out? Well, this isn't the only story to share on Christmas. We have a few more. This month, here in Dallas, Texas, right here where we live, Dade Middle School in South Dallas put out a call for volunteers to help with something called Breakfast for Dads. It was an event that they have on an annual basis, and they thought that there wouldn't be enough dads there for the students. So they put out a call. They wanted a few extra guys to stand in as surrogate fathers and mentors for some of the students in this middle school, especially the ones who didn't have dads in their life or the dads that couldn't physically be there. They put it out on Facebook. Imagine that. And they said, we'd like to have 50 additional men show up. 600 showed up. 600 men showed up. Crowds of volunteers came from all kinds of diverse backgrounds, from all kinds of neighborhoods in Dallas, including dads from various parts of Dallas that you wouldn't think would go to South Dallas. All the dads went, 600 of them. It was such a successful turnout that the school is planning more events for the local community for weekly and monthly mentorship opportunities. It shows the light that is present when a school and a community come together, and when men feel their worth as fathers and men. A company, a credit card processing company of all things, a company by the name of Gravity Payments in 2015, a young CEO started the company at 18. He was then 32 at the time, Dan Price, nice last name, Dan Price, credit card processing company, Gravity Payments. The irony just hit me. He announced plans to slash his own salary, his roughly $200,000 salary, to $70,000, and he did that for a reason. He wanted to make sure that the minimum wage for all of his employees, this is in Seattle, Washington, that the minimum wage for all of his employees would be $70,000 a year. Now, yes, now that move, I tell you, shocked the business world. They thought, what? Well, when you come to find out why he started the company in the first place, it was to do good. He wanted to make a difference, and he wanted to help small business owners be able to have a credit card processing that's easy and affordable for them. And so he also, with his employees, wanted to close the income gap and the equality gap. And so he did that. Now, it just so happens, that was 2015. I looked it up. The past 2 years, 2.5 years, there seems, the results is that there's a baby boom going on at their office. There's an increase in retention, and the happiness rate has gone through the roof because they've started to measure that. The commute time for most of the employees, or many of them, have been reduced because they decided to use the money to move closer to work. Oh, and if that's not enough, but insignificantly, because he didn't do it for this, their profits have more than doubled. Story number 3, Shirley Gibson. Shirley Gibson and her husband Harrison of Washington, D.C., they decided to turn a tragedy into a gift. In 1997, they lost their 27-year-old son, Brian. He was a police officer. He was killed in an ambush while sitting at a traffic light. It was close to the holidays, and it was a very, very tragic time in their life. After his funeral, Shirley tried to figure out how to get through the holidays year after year from there. Her solution? She decided what she would do is she would cook all of her son's favorite dishes for the holidays and invite a few officers to come. First year, 15 officers came. The next year, 100 came. Then 300. Now, mind you, this was over 20 years ago. They've been doing it every year since. So she and her family members have pitched in. They're cooking 18 turkeys, 24 pans of cornbread, 24 pans of sweet potatoes, and dozens of cakes and cookies. For the officers who came to the dinner, they say that it's the start of their Christmas season and a way to honor their fallen officer. She dedicated her life since the loss of her son to helping other families who had lost their sons and daughters in law enforcement. And she considers those who turn up for dinner each year to be her sons and daughters. She describes that as she hugs them, and she could feel their revolvers and all of their garb on them, that it felt like that her son Brian had come home each time as she hugged each person. Well, she decided at the age of 70 that last year would be her last year, and so she went out shopping for the last year. Nearly 400 people, police officers and their families, streamed through. They met when she came in to wherever she goes shopping for all this cornbread and turkeys. And they all lined up, and all these officers lined up to honor Shirley and her husband and the family for shopping for the very last time. Inside, the Washington's mayor had an early Christmas gift, 15 impossible tickets to the African American Museum of History and Culture. And so for 20 years, she's turned a tragedy into good meals, good love, and good fellowship. Yes. So from these stories, we realize that there's lots and lots and lots of light in the world. And we learn that we are worthy of the love and the light that incarnates in every single person. And on this night, we come together collectively to remember this.
show this dream we had. Each child still knows this night we pray our lives will show this dream we had. Each child still knows this night we pray our lives will show this dream we had. Each child still knows this night we pray our lives will show this dream we had. Each child still knows this night we pray our lives will show this dream we had. Each child still knows this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this very Christmas night, on this night, on this night, on this
Tonight we remember, on this very Christmas night we remember. We remember and we celebrate love. We celebrate light. We remember that the Christ consciousness is the kingdom within. And so we remember by taking in quotes from Ernest Holmes on this very, very night on this topic of Christ consciousness. Christ, the perfect person, is developed within us through the realization and revelation of the self to the self. God in us is Christ, and Christ in us constitutes our true daughter and sonship to the parent mind, which is God. Every person is a potential Christ, and as yet undeveloped divinity. From the least to greatest, the same life runs through all threading itself in the patterns of our individualities. Christ is all over, in all, and through all. The Christ which Jesus revealed is already incarnated in our own nature and is hidden and it's this hidden center seek to find circumference through our lives. The intellect must give its consent and the mind must unify with the spirit. The outlet for truth must be true. Christmas is for remembrance. The love manifests through our gifts to each other typifies the offering of life, the givingness of spirit to its creation. The hands of the eternal are outstretched through our hands, and the heart of the infinite beats in the human breast. It is not then lavish gifts that we find true giving, but in the sweet simplicity of remembrance, in the kindly thought, the tolerant mind, and the gentle act. Love alone can give love. Sympathy alone can sympathize, and only goodness can really do or be good. To carry peace, love, and givingness to everyone is the meaning of Christmas. To feel that we are all a part of the divine offering is to enter into the spirit of the birth of Christ in the human mind and the human heart. And so as we give birth, the angel returns.
The time it was short, he had to decide. And so as he flew out over the land, the gift for his Lord was there in his hand. It was the glow of a light, it was the heart of a song, it was the tear of a child where it never belonged. It was a wish of a soul on an old neon light, and the Lord smiled at him on that cold winter Kyrie among nations, Kyrie among nations, Kyrie among nations. Hear the bells ring through the night. Kyrie among nations, Kyrie among nations, Kyrie among nations. Hear as they ring through the night. Listen to the bells as they ring. Listen to the message they bring. Listen to the voices that sing as one voice in the night, hoping that we'll all understand. Every dream is there in our hands, and for every bell, let it ring out through the night. Hear the bells ring through the night. Kyrie among nations, Kyrie among nations, Kyrie among nations. Hear the bells ring through the night.
Good news, yeah? There is evidence of love and light, isn't there? Lots and lots of it. There's lots of evidence of love and light in our own lives. All we have to do is pay attention. We have to pay attention. We have to see it, because we know that that which we focus on grows. We have to pay attention so much that we grow that light, that we grow it not only in the things that we see, but then in that which grows within us, to desire to be more of that, to live in alignment with that to the best of our ability, to keep seeking out the stories, not just Christmas stories, but the stories from ordinary people doing extraordinary things with their lives, like you, like the things that you do, like the ways that you show up, like the moments that you do remember. You remember to forgive instead of be angry. You remember to love instead of withdraw. You remember to try to connect instead of separate. You remember to bring that moment of light and peace into a difficult situation every single time that we remember those things. And do you see, it's so important that we remember, and it's so important that we pay attention, and that we stop focusing on all the ways in which we're not doing it. Because, as you and I both know, that is not going to change a darn thing. Right? You're not going to the gym. You're still not going to the gym. You're still not eating right. No, you're still not doing it. Oh, I see you're still not doing it. How helpful is that, right? Okay. So it is not helpful. Oh, there's more darkness. Oh, see, there you forgot to be the light. Oh, you just aren't really doing very good with your spiritual work. That is so unhelpful, is it not? Believe me, I speak from long and painful personal experience. So that's why it's so important to really take the moment to remember these truths and to say, not only did this happen 2,000 years ago, but it's happening over and over and over again. It's born and reborn and born and reborn again and again and again and again and again. And that might actually be the only purpose for our existence, is to let it be born as many moments of as many days as we possibly can. And so we come to the heart of the celebration. We come to the heart of the ritual. We come to the moment where we ritualize this remembering. So I'm going to invite you to get your candle out. And as in all good rituals, there's always instructions. So, here are the instructions. If you have a lit candle, your candle goes upright. If you have the unlit candle that is coming to be lit, your candle goes sideways. Okay? Simple instructions. All right. And so we do this candle lighting. We do the candle lighting. Every ritual is an opportunity to metaphorically make something that we intellectually know, to make it real. To take the metaphor, to take it out of our minds, and to bring it into our hearts, and to bring it into our bodies, that we may really see that these are not just words that we say, but they're actually truth that we mean. So I'm going to invite the choir to come on up here, and our practitioners are already in place, so we're just going to hang just there for a moment as our choir comes up. And I'm going to ask you for a moment right now to just remember a moment in the last day, the last week, the last month, where you can identify a moment when the light was shining. Maybe you were the one bringing the light. Maybe somebody brought the light to you. I bet you have a story of your own that could have been told tonight here on this platform. And as we remember these moments, do you see our whole anxiety level relaxes? Because we don't have to be afraid anymore. It is true. There is a light. And it is true that it's shining. And it is true that it is within you and I. And when we remember that, we become a place of deep and profound peace. So we're going to begin our candle lighting with peace.
Love my birth.
Love is the greatest gift on earth and the highest gift of heaven. It is the only thing that can heal the broken heart and bind the wounds of the world. Tonight we celebrate this gift of love, this gift of light, at many candlelight services taking place throughout the world on this night. The multitudes will say, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Heaven is harmony, and harmony is many tones in unison. One note is not a harmony, and one alone would not be heaven. The one manifest in many, and the many recognizing the one in all was teaching of him whose birth we celebrate tonight. As we harmonize with all humankind, the great chord of angel anthem peals forth its message, peace on earth and goodwill to men. May each of us know the gift of love, shine our light into the world, and may peace on earth be humankind's reality right here and now. In my heart now, I take up this song and wish for you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The Christmas Prayer by Ernest Holmes. And so it is.
And so we have lit the light. And we have allowed the light to be outside so that we could see it. And I want you to look at your flame. This is your light. This is the light that you have to give to the world. And so in a moment, as we blow this candle out, we're going to recognize that it is only the symbol of the light that we've blown out. If you'd like to, you can even imagine that you're blowing it right into your heart as the light that you take with you from this night into the coming weeks and years. And so when you're ready, as you look at your flame, you might want to cup it with your hand so that you don't blow the wax on the person in front of you. Gently blow that light right into your heart. And so it is. You may be seated.
Take his candle. Take his candle. So on this night, this very holy night, we come together in community and we celebrate the individual and the collective. And we celebrate this community that brings its light and shines it so brightly into the world. And so we invite you to allow the gifts to flow through you in this time of offering. We offer our gifts to one another, all of us sitting around right now and those that aren't here on this evening. So we invite you to give from your heart, from that light, freely and unabashedly, whatever that is. And we have an easy way, if you don't carry cash or checks, we have text giving. If we can do Facebook, we can do text giving. And so we invite you to give as the ushers come by.
And please join me in our abundance affirmation.
I freely and joyously give of my life and love from my overflowing abundance. My gift and
This community touches and blesses the world. And so it is.
Please join us in singing Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born.
Go tell it!
Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. As shepherds camp there watching, or silent flocks by night, behold throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. When I am a seeker, I see both night and day. I ask for love to guide me, and love shows me the way. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. In a lowly manger, a humble Christ was born. Then God sent us salvation, that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born. That Jesus Christ is born.
We're almost done, but you can be seated for just another moment or two.
Let us bless this abundance. We here at Dallas, CSLDallas, are very blessed with the abundance of the universe. And in gratitude of this abundance, so we bless this abundance that it will be used in the highest good for CSLDallas and beyond. And so it is.
And so it is.
at the table in the spirit of family and friends. We'll all join hands and remember this moment till the season comes round again. Let's remember to smile for the picture and hold it as long as we can. May it carry us through should we ever get lonely till the season comes round again. One night, holy and bright, shining with love from our hearts by a warm fire. Raise our heads high and be thankful we're here till this time next year. May the new year be filled with good tidings. Till the next time I see you again. If we must say goodbye, let the Spirit go with you till the season comes round again. Mr. Steve Curry. Oh, one night, holy and bright, shining with love from our hearts by a warm fire. We raise our heads high and be thankful we're here till this time next year. May the new year be filled with good tidings. Till the next time I see you again. If we must say goodbye, let the Spirit go with you, and we'll love and we'll laugh in the times that we have till the season comes round again. Till the season comes round again. Merry Christmas.
Robin Hackett. Robin Hackett. Yay. Robin
Thank you.
Hackett. We want to thank our special soloist, Chantel Prehay. Lainey Bernstein.
Yes.
Robin Hackett. We want to thank our CSLDallas house band, which is Matt Thompson, Jonathan Fisher, and Julie Barr.
finally, Steve Curry. Our CSL Dallas choir, they're listed in your program. And we truly want to give special thanks to Lainey Bernstein for all that she gave, her heart, soul, and everything for this evening.
So we also want to invite you to the Burning Bowl, January 1st. Don't forget, noon. January 1st, a fabulous ritual that the ritual team has prepared for you. It's going to be completely awesome. Of course, we have our regular Sunday, December 31st. We have a regular Sunday, very special speakers and guests for Kwanzaa. And then the first is the Burning Bowl. And I think I'm inviting you across the hall for ciders and cookies, and lots of hugs and good holiday wishes. Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. We love you.
Merry Christmas, everyone.